Alright, what's up guys? Quadron here, going to be bringing you guys a guide to sniping in Planetside 2. So, I've got some ideas behind what I want to talk about, and I've done a lot of discussing sniper rifles, but I've never actually put together something that's more concrete, more of a direct guide. So first of all, just extremely brief discussion of the sniper rifles. Long shot, this is what you're going to use for when you want to increase your scope. Basically, you want to go for a high power scope usually with this. Go for the 10x, 12x, or something like that. Go from long distance kills. I don't think that there's much of a benefit to using this anymore compared to before, because oftentimes before it was better. Since they changed the patch that you also always one-shot headshot, regardless of nanoweave, up to a certain range. The only reason to go with this is if you want to go for that extra 50 meters of kill range with the one-shot headshot. So, and to do that, you're going to be going with the 10x or 12x scope most likely. So, and probably not the silencer, I wouldn't think. And then next up, the LA-80 is probably the second. It's probably the most versatile sniper because it has a higher bullet travel time, or a faster bullet travel time. Muzzle velocity 600, 650 for that one, and then the NC-14, I think it should have a, yeah, this is only 550. So this is a 50 meters per second faster bullet travel time, so you don't have to lead targets as fast, and that's the other advantage of the long shot. You don't have to lead targets as fast on that either. So that said, the NC-14 is actually quite good. It'll one-shot headshot people up to 250 meters for the LA-80 and NC-14. The SASR will only do it up to 200 meters, and the M4 long shot will do it up to 300 meters. So that's a basic breakdown on the sniper rifles. I'm going to go ahead and equip, I think, the LA-80. And we're going to go with a silencer. This is, there's kind of, well, okay, I'll start with the long shot. And I'm going to go ahead and just go out into the field and try to do some sniping. I'll probably do maybe one round with each sniper rifle. Or at least one with the long shot and one with maybe the LA-80, which I think if I were to choose, I'd probably use the LA-80 almost exclusively. And when you're using the 12x, you don't want to have the zoom. The zoom is pretty pointless. Or not the zoom, the suppressor. Because if you're using the 12x, you should be basically launching your shots from a really far distance. Okay, so when you have the 12x on, and you don't have, and the long shot also. So the other advantage to using the long shot is that the bullet drop at distance is much lower. So for example, you'll notice that when I'm shooting right here into this here piece of metal or what have you, basically my bullet has no bullet drop at this range. Basically, it's almost exactly on target. Now the further out I go, the more there's about probably a 1.5 foot bullet drop there. And if I had a silencer on, the bullet drop also is increased. So that's something to keep in mind, is that as you add a silencer to any of the weapons, the bullet drop is severely increased. It kind of, my impression is that basically, as far as what the suppressor does is it reduces the velocity. And then what the computer does is that it reduces the damage based on how much it reduced the velocity. For the distance, so it kind of goes on a ratio level. When you add a silencer, it'll reduce the damage, kind of just reduce the curve overall, as well as reduce the velocity. So when you add a silencer, you just got to keep in mind that you're going to have some issues with bullet drop and potentially with damage being reduced. So I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how that works with the new changes to one-shot headshotting, but I think it probably, when you add a silencer, it reduces your total range on your. Here, let me just check something really quick. It might have it on the patch notes that I just recently did a more detailed guide to the actual sniper rifles themselves, and I filmed that a little bit ago. So there's nothing that discusses the silencers and if they reduce the range on the headshots, but I would assume that they do. But I need to probably at least double check that before I can say for sure. So we're on Endar. This is really early in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and try to, let's see, if I instant action, okay, it is gonna send me to the Crossroads Watchtower, which is kind of where I want to go anyway. But basically, when you're trying to go for 12x long shot sniping, which is, I think, one style of sniping that I'm going to kind of just talk about. And I've done a fair bit of this. But you want to try to get a high ground location or someplace where they are not going to be able to pick you off instantly. So whenever you land after a drop pod, if you're a sniper, you want to basically cloak right away. Now we have no clue where any enemies are, so the first thing I'm going to do is run over to this bush, crouch, and then uncloak inside the bush. Now once you're inside the bush, you don't want to move, because your movement is what's going to trigger enemies being able to see you. You don't want to move left and right. That's when you're they're easily going to be able to spot you out. The other thing that will kind of counter this is if they've got thermal vision, I believe, will also point you out. Now this is not that great of a spot. I'm going to move up to this bush over here because the branches are not in the way over here. So thought that was, and this if this is a higher traffic zone, I think I probably would stay inside there. There's someone up on that ledge right there, but there's not very many people out right now, so this isn't necessarily a great example. But the idea is you want to be in a place that's hard for them to either see you or to shoot you, like reach out and get to you. This is not a great location, but the good thing about this is I've got cover, and I can always drop back and crouch if someone on the low ground or even on the second level of the building come out. And still just waiting. But one of the keys is definitely getting used to whatever sniper rifle you're using, because it's going to change how much bullet drop it has based on which one you're using. I'm going to try to kill whoever's rocket launching this tank here. Very nice. So again, especially when you're using a long shot, your goal is definitely not to be up close and personal. You want to kind of stay back. Now there's a heavy coming to this spot right here to launch rockets. So one of the best tactics you can usually do is to be sitting here and kind of camping a spot. If someone's coming back to the same spot over and over again to drop missiles or whatever they're doing, they'll probably do it again. And so you want to basically use that to counter that. So try to counter that. So right here, just a little bit of bullet drop. You notice. If I was using a silencer, I would have had to do about probably 2 head lengths higher for that distance. And it's hard to explain the distance, but you just gotta get used to the bullet drop distance. I'm hearing a lasher somewhere over here. Okay, I heard a cloaker. Whenever you hear a cloaker, that needs to become your priority to figure out where they are. Because you show up on radar when you don't have a silencer, and they are probably going to come and try to hunt you. Okay, so I think I found him. I'm trying to guess where he is. It's hard to see against such a plain backdrop. So notice what I did there. I waited until he stopped to take his shot, and then I popped him in the head. That's one of the most important things. You got to predict when a player is going to be standing still for about a half second, and then that's when you go for the headshot. Now notice I can still probably one-shot headshot kill to this tower. Let's go ahead and see. I'm going to cloak and move a little bit in case someone was actually going to snipe me. That is 286 meters. So this is the range of your one-shot headshot kills, right out to here. I can one-shot headshot someone on that platform or nearby around. So what is this guy shooting at? I don't know, but he's attracting unwanted attention because he might show up on radar for a mosquito or anything like that. That wouldn't be good. So I see an enemy. I'm gonna go ahead and cloak while I try to find him here. This guy's seriously standing right in front of me. I'm gonna fucking headshot him if you I'm not afraid to shoot my teammate if he's dumb enough to walk in front of me as I snipe. So I'm trying to predict his movement forward. It's getting moving shots in general in Planetside 2 is hard, especially the further out you go. Now it becomes way tremendously easier if he's moving straight towards you. He's almost like he's standing still if he's moving straight towards you. And that's one of the reasons why you see that I'm always moving left and right, and that's because if an enemy sniper zeroes in on my location, I'm going to be able to dodge his at least first bullet and kind of get an idea on where he is located at. I didn't lead enough on that shot. Bummer. I suppose I should talk about sniper loadout and what I recommend. I think for these, for doing a long shot, like distance based sniping, oftentimes it's far better to get like your pure ammo upgrade. I went for a headshot there. It's almost impossible to predict movement when they're jumping over and around. At least as far as getting headshots go, it was really, really hard. So again, notice how I'm trying to maintain distance, and part of the distance I'm maintaining is that there needs to be an open space between me and if an enemy starts zeroing in to attack me. So that gives me time to either back up, cloak, find some cover, and also gives them time. They have to be out in the open for a certain period of time, which gives me an opportunity to at least shoot them once or headshot them. Another thing you want to do when you're trying to snipe is find the cross paths that they are basically, like right now they're trying to secure C, right? So they're always moving across this big open road. So I'm always watching this path. It's because it's going to be a really common method of, I guess, transportation / walking. But this is probably a pretty dangerous place for me to be, because if someone gets on that roof, they'll be able to shoot me, and I won't have any cover. But I'm trying to get kind of a high ground location on any infantry in this area, because we've got a Sunday right there, and I'm trying to protect it basically. So if a light assault goes on the roof, tries to go from place to place, maybe shoot him, or anyone that runs across that opening between the two buildings. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a radar beacon. So I'm starting to take fire. I'm gonna immediately cloak and move unpredictably. That's one of the keys. Now I probably could have. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just. Whenever you come around corners, oftentimes if you cloak, at least to get an idea if anybody's there, it's usually a good idea. So I'm always trying to find people. The best candidates for sniping are either ones moving in a straight line sideways to you, because you can predict the headshot. It's pretty hard to do, but you can oftentimes do it. And then the ones moving straight at you, or standing still attacking teammates or vehicles or something like that. So those are the sweet spots for sniping at a distance. I think I'm going to go ahead and get aggressive here, because I want to switch sniper, so I can switch sniping styles over to more of the infiltrator, up close and personal style sniping. I'm going to go ahead and just go to the commissioner and go in here and die real quick. So when I am using the commissioner, the goal is to always one-shot them and then knife them. That's always the goal. Or to headshot and then knife, or headshot and then second shot them. That's another option. So moving up those stairs is really dangerous, because they can look down at the stairs at you and shoot you that way. So it's good to kind of like make sure that you clear out everything as much as possible. And we do have the point here. So I'm going to go ahead and move up these stairs, and I'm going to... No, cocaine! I thought that was a teammate, and it wasn't. All the purple. All the purple. I thought it was kind of bluish. But, nope. Okay, so that doesn't matter. We are going to switch snipers now. And I think I'm going to go just with the NC-14 bolt. And this is a sniping style where you will die a lot. And okay, I'm gonna use the LA-80. I think the LA-80 is the best sniper. Well, okay, the SASR is amazing for this too. So Really, any of those? Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I'll do one run with the L8. I'll probably die, like I said, I'll probably die a lot faster when I'm doing this style of sniping because it's just a lot more risky. So this is the L8. This is my typical sniping style that I do the vast majority of the time, though I might be switching over to using the SASR a lot more. So if you're not sure if there's anybody nearby, it's usually a good idea to drop a radar beacon. And then anywhere you're moving across where you might be exposed, like drop one over here will reveal anybody over there. Now I'm going to go ahead and just peek around here, look around for anybody that might be there. Up on the ridges. I see firing over here. Do a quick visual check. And just constantly looking for potential targets as you run around is like kind of one of the keys to picking up these extra free kills. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just with this style of sniping. I heard a cloaker nearby. He jumped. That guy jumped. Okay, his jump threw me off. All right, whatever. It's totally okay to miss. As you're learning sniping, it's even as a veteran sniper, because there is no instant travel snipers in Planetside 2. It's probably a good thing that there aren't. But basically, sniping in Planetside 2 takes a lot of skill, especially when you're dealing with moving targets. So I probably should try to just keep running here. Because I don't have any cover. If anyone's on that ridge, there's a good chance I might die. So this is a pretty good sniping spot, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just crouch. And whenever you're trying to hide in a bush like this, you want to kind of have the leaves be barely over your screen. That'll ensure that you blend in maximum possible. And so this means that I think probably about 95%, maybe more, maybe 98% of enemies looking my direction, I think they would miss me. They wouldn't notice me here. So that's an example of a really good spot. If this was a really busy battle, I could probably hide there for 20 minutes, and there'd be people constantly fighting on the scaffolding, and you'd just be able to pick up just kill after kill of. The key there is also using a silencer, because if you don't have a silencer, your red bleep is going to show up, and someone's going to. You're so much more likely to get discovered if someone sees a red bleep on their radar and starts looking for you. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in here and go up. Actually, well, we got to capture B, so I'm going to go actually over to B right now. So someone... Okay, I missed my first commissioner shot. See that I hit him... Actually, did I? I might have actually hit him with the knife and the commissioner, but I don't think so. I think I just knifed him, though the knife usually doesn't do that much damage. But basically, I'm going to try to die one more time here with the LA-80. But there's the thing that I haven't really talked about yet is quick scoping, and this is something that you're going to have to do a lot of if you're going to try to get really good at up-close sniping. Then throw a grenade. And moving to unpredictable locations like this can be really useful if you've got an enemy. You know there's an enemy nearby. Okay, so he's still over here. Can I get up here? That's a bummer. And he's probably gonna get the Sunday. Man, that sucks. Maybe he's out of rockets. Generally, I like switching. Okay, so he actually died. Good. And so basically, quick scoping. Let's talk about that for a second, and I'll just kind of show you a few examples of it, just in practice here. So this is a quick scope where basically you barely get into your crosshairs, or like right before getting into crosshairs, you shoot. And basically it means that like ordinarily if you hip fire a sniper, the bullet's going to be going everywhere. Basically like a huge cone of fire. But if you can quickscope, which means basically zooming in right before you shoot, your bullet will almost always be like right on the target. So that's an example of just a hip fire. Like that's just I did not quickscope there. But he was close enough that I was able to basically I didn't need to quickscope. Quickscoping requires you to be standing still for just a second, and then to shoot right as your crosshairs come in. So you kind of get the timing just right. And you've also got to predict exactly where the middle of your crosshair is, because it's hard to see, or it's hard to figure that out because the cone of fire is so big. It's kind of a dangerous. I'm pretty exposed right there. So notice how I cloaked in between the shots while I was reloading, which enabled me to basically stay alive. And I was expecting to move a little bit differently. Well, I landed a shot on his body as he was falling. But cloaking and moving unpredictably is like super, super important. And I think I'm actually going to just chill down here for a minute. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a heavy point of contention. And my teammates fighting around the Sunder will need some support, I think. So there's a good example. So I'm trying to shoot right through this little hole right there, and my teammate actually killed him anyway, so. Alright, so the Sunder is down. I'm going to go ahead and move up now. And I thought I was going to be able to quickscope him, but he ran upstairs, I think. Okay, so my teammate actually is alive up here. So, if possible, you always want to kind of be hidden as much as possible. Okay, so switching to the Commissioner there was probably a mistake. I was hoping that I had managed to get a hit in. Or that he was low enough that one Commissioner shot would finish him off. Notice how, notice how when I was coming around the corner there, when I was coming around the, like I took a shot, I backed up, I cloaked, I came back around the corner while I was cloaked, and I was reloaded and ready to take another shot. I think that's really, really important, because it basically makes it a lot harder for him to know when you come back around the corner, and he's not going to be opening fire. If he's constantly laying down fire, at that corner spot, suppressing you, just wait for him to have to reload, and then go back out again. Or cloak, crouch, and then slide out while you're crouched underneath like that. Had like a waist-high protection. Come out while you're cloaked there. Crouched, and then stand back up while you're crouched after you get past his cone of fire. And then uncloak and get a headshot. Because oftentimes, people will be like just standing still when they're laying down suppressing fire like that, and then you'll be able to get a headshot on them. Something that I've seen anyway. But, alright, so we're going to try switching over to the SASR. Now for this, definitely I'd say a suppressor is great because you're going to be doing a lot of close-up shots. Now with the SASR, the muzzle velocity is only 500 meters, so that suppressor, you will really feel the bullet drop if you're trying to go for a distance headshot. So that's something to keep in mind. But the majority of shots that you're going to be going for with the SASR are going to be really close range anyway. So this is the SASR. If you're this close, you're still going to need, you're not going to have any bullet drop. And the great thing about SASR is that you've got a really fast time in between shots, much faster than the other bolt action sniper rifles. So I'm just going to go ahead and reload to get my ammo back up again. Also, one thing I was going to mention as far as loadout, let's go ahead and just go look at the loadout that you can have. All right, so some advantages and disadvantages of the loadout. Basically, you've got you want hunter cloaking. Nano armor cloaking, I think, is total crap, or at least it was, unless they changed it. The infiltrator will take 25% less damage from small arms. The cloak can remain active for 7.5 seconds and recharges in 12 seconds. Basically, the hunter cloaking will allow you to cloak for like 2 times longer. And so basically, if someone is shooting you, right? Someone's shooting you maybe at medium distance, like 20, 30 feet away, 10 meters away, and they're trying to kill you. If you use nano armor cloaking, and you take like 2 bullet shots, right? Like you take 2 bullet shots before you cloak, you take 2 more bullet shots. Sure, nano armor cloaking is going to reduce the amount of damage you get, but it also sucks up the nano armor energy much faster, and then you almost instantly decloak. Sure, you may have survived those 2 shots, but you would have survived anyway with hunter cloaking for those 2 shots. And because you now are out of cloak, they easily finish you off because they know they can see you again. But with hunter cloaking, you cloak, they hit you 2 more times, you barely survive, but then you move erratically. Like, for example, whatever direction you were currently going, you start running the other way, and they will almost never hit you to finish you off. And then that allows you to heal up, or just at least recharge your shield, get to a new position, and stuff like that. Plus, the nano armor cloaking allows you to change locations much better because the hunter cloaking lasts so much longer. So yes, okay. So as far as what to get, before the big patch changes, I for sure got Nano Weave Armor 5. Right now, I think you either go for Nano Weave Armor 5, Ammunition Belt, or Grenade Bandolier. The only time to maybe go for Advanced Shield Capacitor is if you're maybe doing lots of flash runs, and that'll that's if you're not sniping. So if you're sniping, Nano Weave Armor 5. I think the Nano Weave Armor 5 is great if you're up close. It'll help you survive, and because you'll be dying a lot if you're doing up close sniping, Ammunition Belt is just a waste of extra ammo. You almost never run out of ammo when you're doing up close sniping. If you're going to be doing lots of range sniping, like the 12x zooming in with a long shot, you probably want to pick up the Ammunition Belt because you die almost never whenever you're doing that. So getting the Ammunition Belt is really, really good. And then flak armor, I don't think that is worth picking up in like any scenario or sense. I don't think. Before, back when Planetside 2 first came out, the vehicles used to be a lot more powerful, so you die to vehicles constantly. And that's why you would go for the flak armor, just because of all the explosive damage from tanks, liberators, and all of that stuff. But now, the vast majority of the time you're going to be dying is going to be from enemy small arms fire, I think. So Nano Weave Armor is going to be your best bet. If you want to be a little more offensive oriented, Grenade Bandolier will allow you to pick up probably an extra kill or 2 if you just throw out the grenades spamming them. So that gives you a total of 4 grenades. Now another thought with the Grenade Bandolier is that you can use an EMP grenade. And let's talk about that for a second. The EMP grenades are kind of useful. I'll probably do a separate video on the grenades and kind of a guide to the grenades. But basically, as far as EMP grenade goes, whenever you use it on someone else, right, it blurs out their screen, so they're like really, really fuzzy. They can't hardly see, and they can see. So if you're not cloaked, they can still see you and shoot you. Basically, it's not that bad of blurriness. But here, I can probably just use one on myself really quick. That is not I did not re-equip yet. Let's go to re-equip. All right, so it didn't hit me. What? I'm confused. Does it not hit anymore? Hit the person? Okay, there. You can see. Actually, it's probably hard for you to see on the stream, but there's like a little bit of blurriness and fuzziness that goes over your screen. It's still blurry, fuzzy, and now it's gone. So for about 5 seconds there, you've got this blurriness that like makes it a lot harder for them to see you if you're cloaked. Because basically, the cloaking, the way you see cloaked individuals, is by recognizing the pattern. So you notice, like right here, that my gun is almost completely invisible right now, and that's because it's against a solid pattern background. But if I move my gun over to something that has lots of pattern changes, you'll see in a second here, you can see my gun very, very clearly. So the same principle applies to cloaking when other people look at you. And so basically, if you throw out an EMP grenade, it'll make it much harder for people to see you with your basically, it's harder for them to distinguish the pattern of a cloaked individual when their screen is fuzzy. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to say. So EMP grenades are kind of an escape mechanism that you can throw down on 2 or 3 enemies, and they're going to have blurred vision, and then you run away and cloak. And so that's the only utility that I really found from the grenade. The other option you can use for the grenade is basically to throw it out there and obviously disable someone's shield, and then you can one-shot them with the sniper rifle as a body shot, or one-shot them with the pistol. But if you're going to be hitting them with the EMP grenade anyway, I feel like the frag grenade is much better because it will likely actually just kill them straight up and won't require any follow-up. So that's why I don't think the EMP grenade is that great, unless maybe you're doing like SMG infiltrator style. Maybe then the EMP grenade will be kind of more worthwhile. Decoy grenade can be really useful for escaping. I think this would be maybe your grenade of choice if you're doing long shot sniping, because oftentimes you'll attract attention from 1 or 2 people that are just trying to track you down, and they'll see your red dot like 50 meters away, right? And they start shooting at you when they see you. You throw out this grenade, and then you run away, and then the idea is that they'll be distracted, forget about you when they see the enemy fire and the sounds coming from the grenade. They'll be like worried and distracted. So maybe it might work, might not work. I don't know. In general, I like the frag grenade. I think is there another grenade choice? I should check really quick. Grenade slot. Yeah, just these 2 for the, at least for the snipers. Now, bouncing betties, I think are a great utility item slot. But I oftentimes run around just with the med kit. Medkits are incredibly useful for when you almost get finished off and you manage to cloak and evade detection. You just hit that medkit, you're instantly back to full health, you cloak again, and you run off. And it's a great way to have longevity out in the field. Obviously, bouncing betties will net you a lot of kills. So if you have, if you start into bouncing betties, I think it's totally worth it. I think this is just a matter of preference and maybe of play style. I used to use bouncing betties all the time, and I switched over to medkits just more like towards the second half of my Planetside 2 career-ish. And then I think bouncing betties are really great when you're defending things, or if you're doing like SMG infiltrator. You can use the bouncing betties. You can bait people to following you through doorways and stuff like that, and you throw down the bouncing betty and you get kills that way. So really, really useful overall kit for the infiltrator. I love the infiltrator class. The infiltrator class is great. So anyway, that's my guide to sniping. I think, guys, that'll be it. I think that's useful enough for everyone involved. And I'll probably I have lots of sniper gameplay videos up on my channel where you can see me going for like 17 kills in like 3 minutes or something like that with a sniper rifle, or hiding in a bush and just massacring people, or just open field sniping. And usually it's done with a silencer, and usually it's done trying to evade detection or kind of kiting the enemy and shooting them, that kind of thing. So if you want to see other examples of actual gameplay and my sniping style, feel free to go check out those videos. You can go check out the videos just by going to my video list and then scrolling down. It should be about there's probably one within 30 videos back, and then there's a few extra ones. I might include links in the description below. I'll just throw some links down in the description below, or maybe include annotations to the videos in like right now. Maybe I'll just throw them up on the screen or something. Probably be useful for you guys that are wanting to see more gameplay footage for sniping. So anyway, guys, that's my guide to sniping. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to give me any feedback or ask any questions at all, and I will try to answer them. If you've got some things that I missed or I forgot, post them in the comments and upvote the things that are interesting. I'm sure I did not cover everything that you could possibly cover, about sniping. And so, yeah, guys, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed it. Quadron out!